girls, it's Mrs. Troy here, and this week we have a brand new theme. Let's take a look at the big book and see if we can guess what we're going to be learning about. What do I see here in these pictures? Wow, lots and lots of pumpkins. So we're going to be reading this big book today, and we're going to be learning about pumpkins. And we're also going to be learning about a very special letter, the letter P, because pumpkins begins with P, pumpkins. What color are these pumpkins? What do you think? That's right, they're the color orange. So when I'm reading today, I want you to be thinking about how do pumpkins grow and what are the different steps that take place when pumpkins grow, because later on we're going to be doing a special activity where we put all the steps in order. So let's get started and learn about how pumpkins grow. The title of our story is Growing Pumpkins, and the author, or the person who wrote the book, is Melvin Berger. Okay. In the fall, we pick pumpkins that have grown big and round and orange. Do you go picking pumpkins in a pumpkin patch? So much fun. Wow, look at all these pumpkins. Pumpkins grow in a pumpkin patch. A lot of times when you go to a pumpkin patch, sometimes you have to take a tractor ride to get out to the field to go and pick them. In the summer, the pumpkin patch is empty. The farmer must get his field ready for planting. Now it's time to plant what do we see in this picture? What do we have to plant for something to grow? That's right, we plant seeds. These are pumpkin seeds. The farmer gives the pumpkin patch lots of water to help the seeds grow. Hey, what else do seeds need to grow besides water? That's right, plenty of sunshine too. Then the pumpkin plant grows big leaves and thick vines. Soon, yellow flowers start to bloom. Did you know that a pumpkin starts off as a flower? And pumpkins grow on vines on the ground, not on trees or branches like some other things. A pumpkin starts to form beneath the flower. Can you see the pumpkin starting to grow? It looks like the flower is closing up, and here's the pumpkin that's starting to grow from it. Young pumpkins are what color? We all know pumpkins to be orange, but they start off as being what? Yes, they are the color green. And then they grow bigger and bigger. And then they turn orange. And when they're orange, then they're ready to be picked from the vine. Some pumpkins grow very, very big. And some pumpkins stay very, very small. And some pumpkins are just right for making jack-o'-lanterns. Do you ever make a jack-o'-lantern with your pumpkin? Or maybe you like to paint it or put stickers on it. There's so many different ways you can decorate your pumpkin. Which pumpkin would you pick? So we see in the picture, these pumpkins are all shapes and sizes. Some of them are very round. Some of them even look kind of oval. And we already read some are big and some are small. So which kind of pumpkin would you like to pick? Hi, boys and girls. Today, we are going to look at the pumpkin life cycle. We already read the big book and we learned a lot about how pumpkins are grown. So now I want to see how much you remember about the different steps that take place before you get to go to the pumpkin patch and pick a big pumpkin. So we're going to take a look at the life cycle, and I hope that you'll do it along with me, and we'll go over the different words, and then we'll see if we can match the pictures and put them in order. So let's get started. The first word is the word seed. Now we remember from the book that when we plant a seed, that is what helps the pumpkin grow. A pumpkin can't grow unless you plant the seed first. So I'm going to take a look at all my pictures and see if I can find the seed. Can you spot the seed? Ah, that's right, it's right here. So I'm going to take the seed and put it right next to the word seed. The second word is sprout. And we also learned in the book that after the seed begins to grow, a little plant begins to sprout out. You see a tiny little thing coming out of the ground. So let's look to see where we see just a tiny little plant coming out of the ground, a little sprout. That's right, it's right here. So it's just a tiny little stem with two little leaves. It's just starting to come out of the ground, and it's called the sprout. The next word I see is plant, because as the sprout continues to grow, it will become a bigger plant. So now I'm going to look for a sprout that's a little bit bigger than the one that we just saw. That's right, it's right here. So we see the stem's a little taller, and now we have, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves on this sprout. So it's a little bit bigger, and it's the plant. The next word is a very important word. It's the word vine. And we learned in the big book that pumpkins grow on vines, and vines are in the ground. They don't grow on trees or branches, they grow on a vine. So I'm taking a look at my pictures, and I'm looking to see a vine that's starting to sprout. And there it is. It's right here. So if you take a look at it, you'll see that the stem is now growing down and becoming a vine and getting ready for the pumpkin to grow. Which brings us to our next step, and it's the word flower. Hey, take a look at that letter. That's the letter F. Remember, we did that for Family Week, so we have the word flower. And which one of these pictures shows a flower? That's right, here it is. Here is the flower. So once the vine begins to grow, a flower will come out. And eventually the flower will turn into a green pumpkin. So even though we know pumpkins to be what color? Yeah, usually they're orange, but they start off green. So let's take a look. Which one of these shows a green pumpkin? You got it, right here. This pumpkin is green. So after my flower, my pumpkin begins to grow. Finally, the pumpkin will be ready once it becomes, yes, orange. Once it becomes orange, then it's a pumpkin and it's ready to be picked. Now, once you have a pumpkin and you decorate it, or you make a jack-o'-lantern, maybe even used it to make some pumpkin pie, you can take out what? What's in the inside inside of the pumpkin that you could take out and maybe plant again? That's right, the seeds. And when we carved our pumpkin together with Mrs. Diaz, you got a chance to take a look at the seeds. So the seeds is the last step, because you can take the seeds from your pumpkin and start the cycle all over again. You can take a seed and plant it, and then it will start the life cycle all over again. So hey, maybe you can take a seed from a pumpkin that you carved and try to plant it and see what happens.
Boys and girls, it's Mrs. Diaz here. And this week we are learning about, what do I have here? Lots of them. How many? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can even put our paper one in as 6. But we are working on pumpkins. So today I wanted to cut open this pumpkin and show you the different parts. So we'll start right now with the outside. So the pumpkin has like a smooth feeling to it, and that smooth feeling is called the skin. So we're gonna put the skin on top of this over here. And then there's some grooves in the pumpkin, and those grooves are called ribs. Like we have ribs in our body, we have our ribs. The pumpkin has his or her ribs, right? So we have the ribs, we have the skin. Let's cut this open and see what is inside. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it has a stem. See, we have the stem here. And sometimes it'll have a leaf, but usually when you pick it, you won't have the leaf, but I did add a leaf here. So let's see, I'm very interested to see what this looks like inside. Let's see, try to open it. Oh boy. So we do have some, this is called here, it's called the guts, right? It's everything mixed in, it's guts. So we have some seeds. So we'll put the seeds in here. I'm gonna open this up now. The seeds go in here. And put them on the diagram. And all this stringy stuff here, this is called pulp. So this stringy stuff, the inside and the pulp, you can make pumpkin pie out of. So we have some seeds and we have some pulp. The pulp feels very slimy, but it's kind of cool. Seeds. The whole thing here, all this stuff I'll put over here, that's the guts, right? We have the rib here. And see inside, it's really slimy and feels kind of cool. You should try it when you cut your pumpkin open. And sometimes you take the seeds here and you let them dry up, and then you bake them, and you can season them and make pumpkin seeds. People eat pumpkin seeds. But see all this over here? The inside, that's the inside of the pumpkin is what they make the pumpkin pie out of, and you can make pumpkin bread and pumpkin waffles, anything you want. And then for Halloween or harvest, we cut the pumpkin and make faces out of it, right? We do all kinds of fun things. So this is the inside of the pumpkin.
Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Troy here, and I have my mystery box with me, and I got a lot of special things in it that I want to show you, and they all have something in common. They all start with our letter of the week. Who remembers what the letter of the week is? letter P. And P makes the p sound. So you can try that at home. Try that with me. Ready? P. Good job. So in my box, I have some fun items to show you, and let's see if you can guess what they are. The first thing I have is yes, you guessed it, it's a pumpkin. It's a tiny little pumpkin. And pumpkin starts with the pumpkin, starts with the letter P. What color is this pumpkin? What do you think? Yes, it's orange, right? And we learned from our big book that when a pumpkin is orange, it's ready to be picked. Good job. Let's see what else I have. Ooh, what's this? Does anyone know what this is? Yeah, good job. You guessed it. It's a pencil. What do you do with a pencil? Yes, you write things or you draw. So I have a pencil. Let's see what else is in the mystery box. Ooh, what do we got here? Who's this little guy? Yes, good job. It's a parrot. And what's a parrot? It's a type of bird. It has very colorful feathers. Let's see all the colors we can see. I see red. What do you see up on top there? Yeah, good job. That's green. I have some yellow feathers here. What color are his feet? What color? Yeah, they're orange, just like our pumpkins. And he's got like a blue beak, I guess. So we have a parrot. Actually have another animal in here to show you that begins with the letter P. Ooh, what's this? Yeah, it's a pony. Pony. And a pony is kind of like a miniature horsey. So I have a cute little pony. Oh, here's a fun item. Let's see if you know what this is. Oh, hi boys and girls. Do you know what I am? Do you? Can you guess? That's right. I'm a puppet. Yeah, so I have my puppet here. And puppet begins with the letter P. And she's happy to see you. If you have some puppets at home, they're fun to play with. Bye, boys and girls. Ooh, now, here's a fun item. Actually, it has two things that start with the letter P because we have a plate. And can any of you tell me what this guy's name is? Yeah, it's Pooh! Pooh! Winnie the Pooh, right? I love Pooh Bear, he's so funny. So we have a plate with Pooh, and they both start with the letter P. And I have just a couple of more things. Oh, what do we have here? We have this little guy here. What is he? Yeah, you guessed it. He's a police officer. He has his uniform on and his hat. So he's a police officer. And finally, I'm going to show you my beanbag with the letter P. And there we have it. Here is capital P. And on the back, I have little p or lowercase p. And remember, letter P starts with, or sounds like, p. And hey, guess what? In my box here, or around my box here, I have pictures of Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol, and they both start with the letter P too. So I have an idea for you. can you go around your house, go on a little scavenger hunt, and see if you can find some things that start with the letter P? Pa. Have fun.
Hello, boys and girls. Here we are again, and we have a pumpkin sensory table here. So I'm going to show you some things, some pumpkins in different colors and different sizes that you would find if you were to go to, say, a farm, and they have like different stands up with all different kinds of things for autumn. So we're gonna look through our sensory, and we're just gonna go over some things that you might find at a farm stand or a pumpkin patch if you go pumpkin picking. So here we have, the first one is big, but I've seen white pumpkins now, which is pretty cool. So you may find a white pumpkin at a pumpkin stand. So here's my white pumpkin. We may find small pumpkins, orange, just a regular pumpkin. If you go to pick them, take a pumpkin, like a ride, and you pick your orange pumpkins. See, they're all pretty much the same size. But then we also have these things, and they're called gourds, and they're all different colors and sizes, and different shapes, all different kinds of sizes. Some have stripes, some are yellow, some are orange. I've seen green ones too. I don't have a green one here, but I've seen green ones with like yellow stripes. Lots of different colors. And look at this pumpkin. That's like yellow with orange stripes. That's pretty neat, and it's got spots on it. See, all different things. Let's see if we find something else. Here's let's look. Here we have pom-poms that are not real pumpkins, but they're fake pumpkins. We have some acorns. These are all things that you see during autumn, right? You see pumpkins and acorns, and what are these? Pine cones, right? I've seen these on the ground, different pine cones. And look at all the colored leaves, beautiful. Here's another yellowish pumpkin. This one has spots on it, just all different. Just like our stories that we've been reading, all the spookly, everything's different sizes and shapes, colors. Very interesting.
Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Troy here again to show you what craft we're going to be doing today. And I'm first going to show you what we need, because if you'd like to do it along with me, after I tell you what you need, you can stop the video and go get it and then come back and we can do it together. The first thing I have is just a plain piece of white paper. The second thing I have is I took an apple, and it can be any size, and I sliced the apple in half, so you can have a grown-up do that for you. I also have some paint. What color paint do I have? Yeah, that's right. I have some orange paint in a dish. And then I have some fun googly eyes. Now, if you don't have googly eyes, that's okay, because after your paint dries, you could even draw eyes onto your project. And I also have a green marker because I'm going to be making some stems, and I'm even going to be drawing a vine. So can you guess what we're going to be doing today? Yeah, that's right. We're going to be making a pumpkin patch with some silly pumpkins. So I'm just going to start off by taking my apple, and I'm going to gently put some paint on. I'm going to rub it around a little bit so it looks like this. So I covered my apple, and I'm going to use it like a stamp. So I'm just going to stamp. Help me count them. 1, 2, 3. I think I need a little more paint. I'm going to put a little more paint on that. And then I'm going to do 4, 5, and 6. So I made 6 kind of like like pumpkins. They don't look like pumpkins yet, but they will, because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna put some eyes on them so they're kind of like silly looking. And how many eyes should each pumpkin get? That's right. They should have 2 eyes. And later on, you could even take a marker and you could even make some funny faces on there. Like you can give your pumpkin a nose. You can give your pumpkin a silly mouth so it looks like a jack-o'-lantern. So I have my eyes here. Let me show you that. All right, and the glue we kind of don't need because the paint's wet, so the eyes should dry right on the paint there for you. Now I'm gonna take my marker and I'm just gonna kind of draw like a squiggly line in between my pumpkins so that it looks like a vine. Yes. Now I'm gonna give my pumpkins some stems. So I'm just gonna kind of draw like a little stick up on top of my pumpkins. And the next thing is I'm gonna draw some leaves. And you can just draw like little sticks and it'll look like leaves kind of right next to your stems. You could even draw some big leaves on your vine. You just kind of make like circles and it'll kind of look like big leaves. And then like I said, at the very end, after you give your pumpkin some time to dry, you could kind of add like a little bit of a funny face like I did on this one right here. And you can decorate your pumpkin however you like. And you could even make more pumpkins if you'd like. You could even put some pumpkins in the middle, and then you can connect the vine to that pumpkin. And then now we have 6, 7, 8 pumpkins. So I'm gonna finish up making my pumpkins, and I hope you have fun doing your pumpkins as well and decorating them.
Hi boys and girls. Today we are going to make something special. It's gonna have something in it that is on the table. What do you think it could be? We have different sizes, different colors. Yes, we're going to make something with pumpkins. Yes, this week we're working with pumpkins, so I thought what better than to make some pumpkin waffles. So I'm going to mix some ingredients together and we're going to make pumpkin waffles. So in this bowl we have flour, we have baking soda, we have pumpkin spice and some cinnamon. So I'm gonna put that in this bowl and I'm gonna mix it together. Over here we have eggs. How many eggs do we have? That's right. How many? 2. We have 2 eggs. So we're gonna break the egg. Mix that together with the flour and dry ingredients. And here we have 1 cup of milk. Mix that in. Okay. And in this bowl we have a half stick of butter. Mix that in. And in this we have 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to give your moms and dads the recipe so they can make your waffles, your pumpkin waffles. In this, we have 1 cup of puree pumpkin. Put that in and mix it really well. This is our finished batter. And here's my waffle iron. You never want to get too close to the waffle iron because it's super hot. So I'm going to spray my waffle iron so the waffles don't stick. And now I'm going to put some of my pumpkin waffle mix on the waffle iron. And we'll let it cook. And here we have our delicious pumpkin waffles. They look so delicious. How many are there? We have how many? 1, 2, 3. Delicious.